Bad Vision here. I'm going to do a small little update. I've got a whole truck full of parts. I've got a thermostat for the cooling fan that I got there to turn it on at a certain temperature, turn it off at another temperature. I've got the bedside halfway done. The other part I'm missing is the back section here, and then sheet metal will go on the inside, and then a sheet metal piece will come down, and that way I create kind of like a wheel well. I don't like having mud thrown up underneath and junk. I know it ain't gonna hurt nothing, but it's just me. So, and yeah, I tried to get this bolted in on the plates because I didn't want to weld it to the frame, because I eventually want to do a 4Runner body on this. So I made everything with plates and bolts, so that way when it comes time I can take this off. Maybe somebody else will buy it off me, or I'll scrap it in one big chunk, you know, or I can modify it later to fit something else. Again, another one over here I got to run. Gonna kind of bring it up just like this one, so that way when I roll the sheet metal in, I can put a gusset on this corner and a gusset on that corner and make it look nice and smooth. Yeah, it is what it is. I've got a toolbox going in here, more like a storage box. I'll have some lateral rails running this way, which I'm going to do the same thickness as the frame, so that way the inside storage box, when I slide it in, it'll go all the way down. It'll have a flared top on it, so I just slide it right in. And then the other side will be the bracer for the other sheet metal, that's the wheel well. Same thing other side, and then I'm going to run it on the back, and on the back right here as well. That'll have a handle, probably a lockable mechanism to lift it up, access it. Sheet metal will be over top on the sides here. Both rails will go all the way, and then the front one will be solid. And then I'll have a sheet metal panel. I'm thinking I might just be a piano hinge this, and then have a clasp or a screw-in nut or something right here, so that I can just open it up, access the battery, boom, it's done. Ran out of tubing, otherwise I would have had this done, so I got to order more. I'm going to order the 2OD to go up and around, and then I'm going to have brace across, one across the center, and then boom, 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 just to give it a little bit of a roll cage kind of thing. I may integrate it into a front exo because I could, when it's time to put the 4Runner body on, just cut it with a Sawzall in certain points, and you know, it wouldn't be too bad. Debating on this front bumper. It is stout, and the guy put it together, wasn't me, put it together decently. I mean, you can definitely tell he kind of just cut and bent, and it honestly looks like black pipe that he cut the threading points off of. Don't know, but it is heavy and it is stout, so I'm just going to run it for now. Got my fender walls all cleared out now. I had some leftover weather stripping from another project for bow fishing to make my own sealed lights, and basically that stuff went right on the fender, so I'm going to promote more rust, you know, as it goes. But I figured something stopping the sheet metal first would you know, be handy if it ever got close to there, but hopefully I'll get that tweaked out to where I know it's not going to hit and it's not going to be a problem. Rear disc brake conversion. Didn't necessarily want to do that. That's what's been changing everything. I know I'm telling you guys I will drive it and I'll do this and I'll do that. The problem is the internals on this were completely missing. The narrow axle on the 84 and 85 had a different actuator for the self-adjuster, and I can't find the parts. I didn't have any spares, and nobody sells a new kit, so I was just kind of like, what the heck. Disc brake conversion was always a thought in my mind, so I went ahead and did it. It kind of hurt my budget as far as how I wanted this to fall in line step by step, but in the end, it's either way it was going to be spent. It's just I didn't want to do it sooner because then I'm stuck. And yeah, so that's going to get done. I've got to tube the fuel line. I'm going to run it up, and it'll come through this sheet metal right here. I have a nice cap on it, and I think I'm going to do, yeah, like my temporary one. Yeah, it is what it is. But that way the fuel fill, I can just sit here and fill it up right here. The 2OD tubing will be right here. And yeah, I'm hoping that'll all pan out with all this sheet metal coming on here nice. And have the fuel fill. Straps done. What else? Yeah, the shift boot that I made. It was a forward shift boot that I had left over. I didn't have a top shift boot, so what I did was put this big nylon piece in, and I RTV'd the seal and RTV'd around where it met the metal. The original owner had cut the tranny tunnel back to put a top shift in, so what I did was made the plate longer, and now it's sealed. When I'm in it and test driving and going around the parking lot, it's nice and quiet, and the exhaust isn't coming in, which is huge, because the exhaust is just like dumping under the passenger side there. And here's the AC pump we're going to be putting in. I did this for the reason that the AC pump that's in there, I don't have block offs on it, and this is 30 bucks. So burning one of these bearings out and buying another one for 30 bucks is cheaper than a Volkswagen AC pulley. And that way I don't have to reroute any belts or anything, because it has just the right clearance on everything to run the Volkswagen system. I wish I could delete the AC pump completely, but on the American Volkswagens, they all came with AC. So in order to change that plate off to the European style, I got to buy the European one, and then I got to tear the entire front face of the motor off, and I wasn't prepared to do that. So if it comes down to having to do the rebuild, you know, eventually, I'll probably look into that process and have that done. You know, put that front plate on with the AC delete and rerun the plumbing and everything. Other than that, everything's going good. You guys like and subscribe to stay updated. Check out Toyota4Runner.org. I have a thread there that I keep updating pictures and stuff so you can get a closer look, because I'm, you know, wobbling all over the place talking. So we'll see you next time, guys, and if you have any suggestions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. Have a good night.